Yes,
Parang
po.
22 ang
21,
finals
22.
eh. So, ang
Exam po.
next week na lang, ang exam nyo sa akin 22. Gusto nyo yung ganon, 22?
Yes.
Matatapos natin kasi tatlong ngayon, tapos next Thursday, tapos meron pa tayong Tuesday, 18 sa Friday, 19.
Sir, i-share ko
Tama,
na po
22. Tapusin natin hanggang Thursday.
Pero yung ibang hindi po mag-report pa po ba?
Oo, hanggang Thursday. Pag hindi, di hanggang Tuesday. Madali namang magpa-exam eh, online naman eh.
Sir, eto na. Hinahanap ko lang po yung i-share na PowerPoint.
So, dapat makatatlo tayo tapos sa Webes 4. Paano yung mga hindi uma-attend? Asa na ba yung mga yun? Tapos na ba yung mga yun?
Hindi ko
Sabihin
po
nyo lang.
Sir, excuse me. Sir,
Joke. Oo, sige.
ayaw po ayaw. I-stop ko po muna nga. Tapos hahanapin ko po yung...
Stop mo na mo siya. I-click mo, ma'am, yung resume your presentation.
Yan na po. Tapos share your entire screen.
Oo, sige.
Tapos share.
Naka-laptop ka ba? Yun.
Yes po.
Ayan, madali lang pag-laptop.
You are presenting. Sir, wala pang lumalabas po.
Wala pa. I-hide mo yung i-hide mo yan, I-hide mo yung mukha natin. Ayan.
Wow, hindi ako techie, sir.
Ay, hindi. Slideshow mo. Tama ba? Ayan. Di ba may araw, tapos ayun. Ito, minimize mo yung
sir, di ba
ayun, nakakita ko na yung reports to Sir Jeff eh. Mo na, slideshow mo na siya.
Open ko na po. Eto, sir.
Tama, kapatid. Ayun.
Sir, makikiupo lang po muna. Slideshow. Sir, nakikita na po.
So the title is all about, yes, Assessment in Cognitive Affective Psychomotor Domain. Sige nga.
Ayan po. Good evening po, sir. Sa inyong lahat.
Good evening.
Ang report ko po ngayon ay Assessment in the Cognitive Affective Psychomotor Domain. Itong 3 domain na to of learning ayon sa Bloom's Taxonomy. So, balikan muna natin ng konti. Magsimula muna tayo sa Bloom's Taxonomy. Next. Uy. Ayaw mag-next. Ayan. At ito. Sa Bloom's Taxonomy, dahil ito may kaugnayan siya sa 3 domains of learning na yon. May kaugnayan sa assessment and evaluation. Dito sa Bloom's Taxonomy, na noong 1956, may kasama pa rin gano'n, na na-create siya ni Benjamin Bloom. Kasi siya kasi yung head ng educational psychologist. So, na-develop niya yung Bloom's Taxonomy or classification system ng level ng cognitive skills and learning behavior. Tinawag siya na taxonomy from the word taxonomy, meaning classification or structure. So may 6 na level sa Bloom's Taxonomy. Ito yung knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, at saka evaluation. Pero nung time na during 1990, ni-revise yung Bloom's Taxonomy ni Lauren Anderson. Saka yung mga group ng cognitive psychologists. Si Lauren Anderson, konting background din, na siya yung dating estudyante ni Benjamin Bloom na ang kasamahan naman niyang nag-revise si Krathwohl, na kasamahan din sa educational psychologist ni Benjamin Bloom. So, ang nangyari, yung etong noun yung mga knowledge, comprehension, naging verb siya. Kasi, Change siya noun into verb to indicate action. Di ba yung knowledge, product siya ng thinking. Ibig sabihin nito may active engagement na yun nga, nasa verb yung dapat na word na nakalagay doon. So yung knowledge, ginawang remembering, understanding, lahat yung mga katapat niya, yung analyze, analyzing, evaluation, evaluating, tapos yung synthesis, creating. Pero may mapapansin kayo dito na sa original domain, pinaka number 1 yung evaluation. Pero dito na sa revised Bloom's Taxonomy, number 2 lang siya. Number 1 na dito yung creating. So, bakit pinagpalit? Pinagpalit siya na number 1 yung creating kasi pag sa evaluation, hindi ka makakapag-evaluate ang isang tao nang without creating. Pero sa creating, hindi ka makakapag-evaluate without being creative. Kasi dito kailangan ng critical thinking. So more complex of thinking na ang ginagamit. Kaya siya sa revise number 1 na yung creating. And so ayan. Ito na siya sa cognitive domain. Tinatawag siyang domain of thought process. It deals with the intellectual ability and skills din sa cognitive domain. Tapos, meron tinatawag na assessment in the cognitive domain. Meron 3 dyan, yung fixed response instrument, pre-response instrument, at saka performance test. Asan na ba yung kopya ko? Wait lang, Sarah. Next slide na po. Sa fixed response instrument, ina-assess niya yung factual information. Tapos, karaniwan nito may single answer lang siya. Yung pagpili niya ng answer, may given option. Kasi ang halimbawa nito, yung mga multiple choice test, matching type, tapos true or false, supply. Yung mga supply test, yung identification test. Kaya tinatawag na siya, fixed response kasi nga yung isang sagot lang doon ang dapat mong mailagay kasi yun lang talaga yung fixed na answer doon. Kaya tinatawag siyang fixed response instrument. Next naman po sa free response instrument. Dito sa free response, there is a freedom in response. Yung learner, free siya kung ano yung gusto niyang topic na ibigyan ng pansin, at saka yung mga idea niya dito may freedom siya kung paano niya ma-express, kasi ang halimbawa ng free response instrument, yun yung mga short essay at saka yung essay mismo. Yan yung assessment sa cognitive domain. Ito naman, performance test. Di ba dun sa mga performing task natin, ginagawa dito ng teacher, may answering ng mga series of question. Dito, nami-measure yung mental function, memory, language, and the ability. Doon nga sa di ba sa mga play, doon nakikita yun. Doon nag-gauge na yung teacher kung paano yung nila, mental function, tsaka yung ability ng mga estudyante. Pero meron din akong nakita na, asan ba yung sinulat ko yun, na yung parang performance test na nung mga psychologists naman, na mayroon silang mga ginagamit na instrument para din, halimbawa sa mga bata, kung delay ba yung development ng mind nila, or ganun din sa mga matatanda. So, performance test din. Tapos, ito naman, nasa assessment in the affective domain. Natawag din siyang feeling domain, yung affective domain. Kasi dito, nabibigyan pansin yung emotion, yung emotional and attitudinal engagement ng isang estudyante. Wait lang, sir. So ano nga ba yung kahalagahan? Bakit may assessment in teaching? Para mas magkaroon ng i-develop pa ng teacher yung motivation kung paano mas magiging effective, kung paano matutunan yung mga bata yung values na dapat nilang matutunan at saka yung mga right attitude. Meron nga akong nabasa, sharing lang din, na merong quote na sinasabi, schooled but not educated. Kung may mapapansin natin, hindi naman lahat, pero yung may mga nagtapos ng college, matataas yung pinag-aralan, talagang mga degree. Pero minsan makikita mo sa attitude nila, parang masasabi mo na, kaya minsan sinasabi na parang walang pinag-aralan yung pag-uugali. Kasi hindi nila na ipapakita yung tunay na taas ng degree ng pinag-aralan dahil yung respeto sa kapwa, unang-unang wala. Di ba dapat sa taas ng natutunan, dapat mas natutunan din nila kung paano i-apply yung mga na naituro sa school. So, yun yung nakikita ko na i-share ko din sa personal experience. Nung nagda-drive minsan, umabot pa doon kasi affective, di ba? Na yung kahit gaano katalino yung isang tao, pag hindi niya na isa puso kung ano yung kabutihang asal, parang ang baba rin ng pagtingin ng pagtingin sa tao na yung respeto, sabi nga, hindi nabibili ng pera kasi kusang ibibigay sa'yo ng tao pag nakita na dapat ka din na irespeto dahil kung paano mo din irespeto yung kapwa mo, babalik din yun. Babalik din yun, the natural. Ito yung role ng teacher na yung values, hindi lang siya natutunan ng bata, pero maisa sa buhay niya, sa personal life niya, para mas maging mabuting tao siya in the near future. Ayun po. Next. Di po sa cognitive level of learning, merong mga level. So sa affective, meron din pala siyang mga level. Ang proponent naman nito si Krathwohl. Dito, meron siyang receiving, pinaka-lowest, responding, valuing, organization to, tapos characterization. Dito sa level na to, may definition at example. So, para mas pinakita dito yung sa receiving, pag yung isang estudyante nagbabasa ng book, so nagkakaroon pa lang siya ng awareness, kaya siya yung lowest level pa lang. Sa responding, pag yung isang estudyante nagsasagot na siya dun sa book, ayun, nagpapakita na siya ng bagong behavior. Para resulta na yon ng pagbabasa niya, nagre-respond na siya. Dun sa valuing naman, yung individual, nakikita na niya na nag-demonstrate na. Hello? Tapos yon, nagpapakita na siya ng involvement or commitment doon sa ginagawa niya. So pumapasok na yung valuing doon. Pag yung individual na nai-involve na rin siya sa mga civil, sa mga rally, yung mga nagre-rally, ganun. So nakakabuo na siya ng organization kasi kung ano ba yung value ng mga kahalagahan ng mga asal or yung mga values na natutunan niya. Tapos pag yung individual na, meron na siyang talagang commitment. Kumbaga, yung sarili niya, parang ganun na siya, na ito na talaga yung prinsipyo niya sa buhay, yun na, nakaka-characterization by value na niya yun. Yun yung sa level na affective. Tapos sa assessment in the affective domain, meron siyang mga rating scale, checklist, observation instrument, attitude inventory, tsaka creativity test. Sa rating scale, ito yung tinatawag na tool na ginagamit sa assessment ng performance tasks, skills levels, procedure, processes, qualities, quantity. Tapos katulad, nakikita ang rating scale nito sa mga reports, drawing, tsaka sa computer program. May certain level siya. o range, sa range. Ito yung example nun. Physical education participation, di ba minsan nire-rate rating scale kaya may rate siya kung 6 ba o 7 ba. Halimbawa sa sportsmanship, sa team play, ano ba yung rate niya? May mga ganun, 8, 7, 6, 5, mga yan, example ng rating scale sa physical education. Ano po? Mawawala po akong signal, pero thank you na lang. Mayroon bang dadating dito? Maya-maya pa. Sandali na. Salamat po. Checklist. Ayan, nakikiupo lang kasi. List, number of things that can be checked. Nagagamit sa evaluation ba? Instrument po siya for evaluation. Ito po ang example ng checklist. Ito na-search ko lang to sir. Easiest instrument pa rin siya sa affective domain. Ang checklist. Halimbawa nito, at may halimbawa dito. Yung checklist, student-teacher remark, yung kung absent or present, isa din yun sa checklist, sa attendance. Halimbawa, being a teacher, gagawa ka ng checklist. Magpe-prepare ka ng lesson plan. Number 2, ano ba to? Hot body bath. Ano ba to? Positive and kabila naman po sa estudyante. Ano po? I-observe mo yung sa affective test domain ng estudyante mo. Kailangan frequent or regular siya. Sa paggamit ng observation, record
Nawala na si Miss Carol or ako lang walang signal?
Sir, nawala po siya.
Naghang ang kanyang ano. Nakahang siya,
Yes po, sir.
pero naka-sign in pa rin.
Baka po humina yung signal niya, sir.
Ay. Nawala. Paano gagawin natin? Ayun. Okay. Actually, Miss Carol is pertaining to the different assessment instruments in the 3 domains. So she stressed about the cognitive, affective, and psychomotor domain, so which we were so familiar. Based from what she gave us, meron tayong natawag na cognitive, what we call the assessment tools, which are in particular, meron tayong fixed response, pre-response, and performance test. So she is right on those instruments. In particular, we are familiar with fixed response. So tama naman siya when it comes to fixed response, what we were expecting is that the students are going to select. What I mean, there is one option to be selected, and that rather in a particular question, there's only one correct answer, and it includes multiple choice. You have matching type. You have supply test and short essay. So rather hindi kasama yung short essay. In short essay, that is free response. Kaya nga po tinawag na free response because the learners are given the opportunity to express their ideas in writing, expressing their thoughts and their feelings. Hindi kasama yung feelings kasi cognitive ang pinag-uusapan dyan. So, in terms of performance, kasi what we were thinking always kapag performance is psychomotor. But performance can also be considered as cognitive, which requires the learners to give their insights, their ideas, certain principles or concepts. So once those ideas, concepts, and also mga principles are introduced or given by the learners in performance based. Kasi pag sinabi natin performance, it requires what? A skill to be demonstrated, a skill to be demonstrated. So these skills to be demonstrated cannot be demonstrated without knowing or without acquiring first the needed information or ideas. So sa performance test, sabi nga niya, what we can consider as kumbaga cognitive siya kasi there are a series of questions to measure the mental functions of the learner. So kung ganun ang approach mo, dealing with demonstration of skills, but still you have challenging questions that will require the learner to cognitively think and to measure mental fitness or mental functions. So that's everything about cognitive. Then she's also pertaining to affective domain. And when it comes to affective domain, this is the feeling, the emotions, and attitudes. And in particular, sabi nga natin, this is one of the components in the instructional programming. And affective domain will determine learners are progressively learning effectively based on Krathwohl's levels of affective domain. So meron ding level. Kung sa cognitive, alam natin, yung dimensions niya, remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, to creating. So it requires levels for them to create, to apply. Also in affective domain, there is also hierarchy wherein we can start with receiving muna, then responding, valuing, then organization and characterization. So before the learners are able to do characterization of their attitudes and values, so they should start first with receiving. Kanina yung example niya yung civil rights, di ba? So sa civil rights, bago ka mag-comprehend about or magkaroon ng characterization doon sa civil rights, kailangan muna andun siya sa book, nagbabasa muna ng book, at pag nabasa niya, na-appreciate niya yung books na binabasa niya, that's under receiving part. So there is hierarchy when it comes to affective domain. So, asan na si Miss Carol? Andiyan na ba siya? Wala pa rin. Wala pa. Okay, sa psychomotor naman, basically, mga performance test din po yan, wherein in the performance, we are noting how the learners are actually doing the skill or how are the learners are performing the skill. In inclusion po pala dun sa affective domain, some of the instruments that she mentioned are yung rating scale. So rating scale, we are very much aware of the rating scale. We're in the rating scale, meron tayong mga scales of 1 to 5, 1 to 4, wherein these are the determiners or predictors of the perceived values or perceived attitudes of the learners towards a certain issues, towards certain events. Sa checklist, you are in particular familiar din kayo sa checklist. Kaya nga checklist, the affective learnings can be noted one individual to another by just having those checklists. So halimbawa nga, ang binigay ni Ms. Ferrer in terms of the affective domain for teachers, ano ba yung kailangan na affective domains for professional teachers? Of course, you have to note those required ethics, no, that the teachers must possess. So if these ethics are observed observed to those teachers, so meron kang enlisted mga characteristics or qualities of good teacher. So nakalagay doon, checklist yan. So still effective siya, hindi siya ginagamitin ng cognitive. Then also you have observation, which is very common. We can use observation tool to jot down what we observe from our learners behaviorally, kung ano yung pinapakita nila in terms of their actions, in terms of their feelings, in terms of their gestures, so we can possibly describe, can possibly note all the details of their affective domain through observation. Now, sa psychomotor, when we talk about psychomotor, we are pertaining to the motor skills that are need to be developed by the learners. That's why one of the components of the lesson plan is to include psychomotor, because once the learners are able to know, the dimensions of cognitive domain, sabi nga natin, yun kasi yung function ng learning, mag-start muna sa knowing. And once the learners know already, they are able to demonstrate the expected skill. And the demonstration of the skills are connected to the psychomotor. Ano yung mga usual psychomotor skills that are generally being assessed? Or what I mean, yung mga instruments. Kasi what we're pertaining here are the instruments or assessment tools that we can use sa psychomotor. Si Cindy may gustong sabihin. O na pindot lang niya. Okay, sa psychomotor, ganun din. Just like affective, meron tayong observation tool kasi what we were seeing are generally the skills to be demonstrated. So we can have also the checklist. If all those skills are being demonstrated, you have the observation. Because dun kasi sa psychomotor, may level din yan. Mag-start siya sa tinatawag nating imitation, di ba? Wherein the learners are tawag ito, parang nag-start na tingnan kung ano yung ginagawa ng model or simply ng isang individual who are possessing that skill. And once they have seen how it is done, so saka pa lang nila gagawin yun. So that's exactly psychomotor. And sabi ko nga, one of the most common yung observation tool. Also we have the checklist, pwede ring rating skills, but in the context of psychomotor domain, kasi motor skills ang pinag-uusapan. Okay, siguro let's allow na lang Miss Carolina once she is ready for the next, let us have Cindy or Janine. Janine muna.
Opo.
Janine, sige. Para mapag-report ka na lang.
Sige po.
Janine De La Cruz. Pinagawa ko po ba kayo ng test development? Mr. Noel? Magte-test development pa kayo sa?
Parang nasabi niyo po, sir.
Nasabi ko. Ginagawa niyo na? Nawala na si Raymond.
Ako, sir, may nasimula na po. Ewan ko lang po.
30 items yata pinagagawa ko sa
50 po,
inyo.
sir.
Naturuan ko, ha?
50 items.
30.
30, sige.
50 ba? O sige.
Ito kasi sabi niyo, sir.
50 nga, pwedeng 50. Sige. Kailan nyo sasubmit? Pwedeng 22, kaya nyo? Para wala na kayo niisip sa Christmas. 22 na rin submission yun, ano? Okay, Miss D, Miss Janine, asang ka na?
Sir, hanggang saan ako nawala po ang connection?
Oo, hindi naman halata na nawala ka. O sige na, lago ka na sa psychomotor.
Ay, ganun po. Patapos na rin yun, sir. Tutuloy ko po na po.
Diniscuss ko na actually. So,
Hi, thank you
i-play
po.
mo na yung psychomotor then si Janine kasunod.
Sige po.
Asan na si Carol?
Sir. Po.
Asan na yung
Tutuloy
ano
ko
mo,
po ba o
itutuloy
si
yung
Janine?
report?
Sige po, sir. Ito
Sige, pwede na si Janine na ano ka naman ng psychomotor. Janine, ikaw lang, Miss Janine.
Sige po, sir.
Ay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Pakisend na lang, Miss Carol, yung PowerPoint mo. Doon sa GC natin.
Yes po. Salamat, sir. Napakabait pala ni
Para
Sir Jay.
sort
Hindi ko makalimutan.
as
Thank you po.
reviewer.
Opo.
Ayan. So, eto naman, maganda rin yan, test design. So, this could be a big help for you to develop your 50-item assessment instrument, no, yung multiple choice. Actually, I gave you some tips already on doing the test. So, Miss Janine will clarify some of these rulings on development. When we say kasi development, the material is already available, and of course you can make some improvement, no, on those material or those instruments. Nawala si Sir Raymond, nawalan din ng signal.
Yung magandang gabi po, yung report ko po is tungkol sa developing assessment instruments. What is an assessment instrument? An assessment is not just a test, but a range of items used to gauge a learner's abilities and progress, as well as quality of instruction, in addition to evaluating the instructional mediums used. Ito po yung sa assessment instrument daw po, dito masusukat kung natuto ba ang isang estudyante or na-develop ba yung kanilang learnings, yung kanilang skills, hindi lang yung learnings na or skills, pati yung kanilang behavior and attitudes. Ito po yung mga example ng iba't ibang uri ng assessment, yun nga po. Quizzes and exams, checklists, surveys, at mas madami pa pong iba. What is criterion reference assessment? Criterion, or the plural version of criteria, is defined as a standard on which a judgment or decision may be based, a characterizing mark or trait. Dito daw po sa criterion, galing siya sa word na criteria, is ito yung mga pinagbabatayan or basihan kung saan nabibigyan ng mga scores or ng judgment decision yung isang work ng estudyante. Criterion reference assessments, also known as objective reference assessments, focus on measuring performance items associated with learner performance and instructional integrity. Dito naman daw po sa criterion reference, ito po yung mga tinatawag din siyang mastery test na nako-compare yung performance ng isang estudyante doon sa set of objectives na binigay ni teacher. Dapat yung mga ginagawa ng learner is ma-meet yung criteria na ginawa ni teacher para ma-meet nila yung high score. Na ang importante dito is yung yun nga pong nakaset na objective na dapat ma-meet ng learner para maging mataas yung score niya at malaman yung mastery ng sa lesson niya po. Tas dapat din yung criteria na ibinibigay ni teacher, yung mga objectives and criteria is malinaw dun sa estudyante para alam nila at hindi sila maliligaw kung ano ba dapat yung dapat nilang gawin or kung ano ba yung dapat pa nilang i-develop. Ito po yung example ng criterion. Learners,
Right. So, wait lang, Miss Janine. Okay. So, Miss Janine is definitely correct about the criterion reference assessment. Actually, to add up to what Miss Janine is saying about, remember, you have explored from previous assessment, you have these two types, no, of reference assessment. Una, we have the norm reference assessment, NORM, norm, no? Norm reference assessment, and then we have criterion reference assessment. The K to 12 basic education curriculum is introduced in a criterion reference format. Bakit ba natin tinawag na criterion reference assessment? From the word itself, criterion, it is rooted from the word criteria. In other words, the performance of the learners are generally jibe to a certain standard. No, meron particular criterion or standards to be used, no, to categorize, no, the learners' performance. Unlike dun sa norm reference, the scores of the learners are being compared from other learners. That's why if you're going to consider the honor roll, right, yung previous time, ang honor may valedictorian, salutatorian. In other words, the grades of the learners are compared religiously from other learners. Kaya there's ranking of the performance of the learners. Unlike today, no matter what level our learners have, ang kalaban nila yung sarili nila kung gusto nila maging high honor, with honors, or with highest honors. Because there is a standard, no? Meaning, the assessment is basically in criterion reference kapag meron tayong standard na tinatawag. Diyan sa definition niya, a standard on which a judgment or decision may be based a characterizing mark or trait. So one of the advantages of criterion reference assessment is that the learners have free will. Kumbaga, there are no competitions. Meaning, the competition is within the student themselves. Maganda, di ba? Kasi they can help each other. They can help each other in order for them to reach that level. Unlike sa norm reference kasi, you need to perform very well for you to be able on top. So kung kukunin nung top 10, yung top 10 lang yung mahuhusay na learners when it comes to norm reference. Just like sa board exam. The board exam or the licensure examination for teachers are generally in norm reference assessment because the scores are being compared to other test takers, no? Kaya meron tayong cut-off scores. Unlike dun sa criterion reference, sabi ko nga, it's up to the learner on the extent kung anong performance ang gusto nilang maibigay. So kung hanggang below level lang sila, hanggang dun lang. Kung nandun sila sa average, hanggang dun lang sila. And then if they really wanted to reach that outstanding or excellent performance, so they may. So kung kukunin yung halimbawa, percentile 95. So kung sino lang yung nandun, percentile 95, kung sino lang yung what I mean is percentile of 15% of the learners. So yung 15% na yon, kukuhanin mo dun sa population na hindi mo ni-rank yung first 15. Yung first 15 sa norm reference. Pero yung 15% ng learners dun sa criterion, yun yung performing. Okay, Miss Janine? Sige, pwede na.
Yes. Ito nga po yung example, yung kagaya ng sinabi ni Sir kanina. Yung
Ganun.
learners
Sige.
will
Apple
answer
pala.
85% of quiz questions correctly to demonstrate mastery of the lesson. Yung kung yung 85% daw ng mga estudyante is nakuha naman yung pinasagutan ni teacher, masasabi na yung sa criteria niya is pumasa yung mga estudyante at yung iba na-master nila yung lesson o mas naintindihan nila yung lesson na diniscuss ni teacher. Tapos ito po yung types of criterion reference test. Una po is yung entry skills test presented to learners before instruction is provided. Assesses prerequisite skills. Learners may have harder time learning material if skills are lacking. Dito po sa entry skills test, binibigay siya yung parang sa bago mag-lesson si teacher, meron siya mga ibibigay na mga, for example, mga test para malaman kung yung mga past lesson is naintindihan ng mga estudyante para malaman ni teacher kung meron pa bang kulang do sa mga itinuro niya para sa susunod na mga lesson nila is mapupunan niya na yun yung kakulangan do sa skills na at saka ideas na naibigay niya. Yung kasunod naman po is yung pretest presented to learners before instruction is provided. Coach learner mastery of material and help instructor to cater course material to meet needs of most learners. Ito po yung pretest. Binibigay siya yung bago sa lesson para, yun nga, parang sa entry skills test din siya. Una, bago lumipat sa bagong lesson na para malaman ni teacher kung pwede na ba siyang mag-move sa ibang lesson na okay na ba yung past lesson niya, pwede na bang baguhin, meron pa bang kulang or dapat pa ba niyang dagdagan para mas lalo pang lumawak yung kaalaman ng mga estudyante niya. Yung third naman po is practice or rehearsal test presented during the instructional. Used to facilitate learner participation during instruction. Help to gauge learning and understanding. Dito naman po sa practice or rehearsal is ito na yung parang present na ginagawa yung during na sa lesson po nila, pwedeng yung magpapalitan ng ideas si teacher, tas yung mga students, para hindi lang kay teacher nang gagaling yung mga ideas na pwede rin magkaroon ng participation yung mga estudyante niya. Pwede din na, for example, magkakaroon ng debate yung mga estudyante, ipapacilitate lang ni teacher yung mga estudyante niya na kapag meron na ng kulang, dadagdagan ni teacher, and then yung mga estudyante, palitan na lang sila ng mga ideas nila. Dito din mabibigay yung mga iba't ibang uri ng understanding ng mga estudyante kung natuto ba sila, and then pwede nilang i-apply doon during ng instruction or doon sa discussion nila. Tapos dito naman po yung last, yung post-test presented following the instructional used to assess all objectives and skills from the instructional. Help to evaluate instructional effectiveness and learner knowledge. Dito naman po sa post-test, ito na yung pagkayari ng isang program or ng lesson nila. Di ba po yung sa pre-test, malalaman kung may natutunan yung estudyante sa past lesson. Ito pong post-test naman, dito na malalaman ni teacher kung na-develop ba yung kulang do sa umpisa nilang test na ginawa. Na dito na ma-assess kung na-meet ba yung mga objectives or yung mga learning outcomes ni teacher na kung na-meet ba ng mga estudyante na dapat yung nagkaroon ng development yung kanilang skills, hindi lang skills pati yung mga behavior nila. Ito po yung types of items. Ito po yung mga example ng mga test po. Ito po yung essay, fill in the blank, completion. Ito po yung sa completion niya, yung parang siyang fill in the blanks. Tapos yung multiple choice, matching type, tapos product checklist, parang yung kay Ate Carol po kanina, tapos yung live performance checklist, yung habang nagpe-perform yung mga estudyante or may presentation, may checklist si teacher para pwede niya ilagay doon kung saan ba kulang yung estudyante, ano ba yung dapat pang idagdag, ano yung sobra. Ito na po yung mga test design. Kung finding the best testing format to measure different areas, types of learning. Una po yung verbal information domain. Yung sa hop po niya, nakalagay po yung learners demonstrate understanding by remembering or not remembering information. Ang sinasabi po dito na sa how niya, dapat hindi lang nare-remember ng student kung ano yung binigay na idea ni teacher, kundi yung sa sarili niya, alam niya at pwede rin siya magbigay ng sarili niyang idea kung paano niya naintindihan yung lesson na hindi lang niya pagbabasihan kung ano yung nabasa niya, kundi yung meron din siyang sariling pagkakaintindi. So what naman po, direct objective style test items. Yung example niya yung mga short answer po, alternative response, yung matching type, and multiple choice items. Sa intellectual skills domain naman po, palab sa kanyang how niya na more difficult and complex to create gauging knowledge of multifaceted concepts. Dito naman po, kung medyo mahirap or hindi masyadong maipaliwanag, dito masusukat yung iba't ibang uri ng pagkakaunawa ng mga estudyante. Dito papasok na iba't ibang uri ng mga idea nila doon sa lesson. Tapos yung sawat niya nga po, yung example ng objective style test items, yung mga creation na lang ng product nila, kung naintindihan nila yung lesson, yun sila na mismo yung makakapag-create ng sarili nilang product or pwede na nilang i-present yun or magkaroon sila ng performance dun sa lesson. Yung sa attitudinal domain naman po, yung sa how niya, also more difficult and complex instruments to create, focusing on learner preferences and attitudes. Dito naman po sa attitudinal, medyo mahirap din siya kasi yung mga estudyante, meron silang iba't ibang pag-uugali or pinagkuhanan ng mga pagkuhanan ng mga ideas nila. Tapos yung sawat naman po niya, direct learner statement, observation, or similar inference. Yung sarili na nilang information, yung makakapagbigay na sila ng mga conclusion nila, or yung sarili nilang opinion do sa iba't ibang evidence na nag-gather nila or sa iba't ibang opinion na nakuha nila. The psychomotor domain naman po, yung sa how niya, typically require the learner to demonstrate steps to show understanding of a universal concept. Dito na po yung i-demonstrate na ng mga student yung mga iba't ibang steps or yung paano nila naintindihan. Na sa pamamagitan niya po ng ito po yung mga rubric, yung meron siyang mga numbering, yung mga checklist, yun nga po yung sa rating scale. Parang po dun sa, example na to is yung kunyari po dun sa pag-check ng isang essay, yung sa grammar niya, yung sa mga spacing, use of words, ganun po. Tsaka yung mga direct demonstration. Ito na po yung mga types of test item criterion. Yung una po is yung goal-centered, focusing on the objectives of the instructional. Example po nito yung sa goal-centered, halimbawa po yung sa history, ang goal po ni teacher is yung mabigyan lang ng halaga yung mga history or yung mga makasaysayang tao o lugar. Pero dapat po sa goal-centered niya, hindi lang isa, kundi dapat maibibigay din doon yung pagmamahal ng mga estudyante sa kasaysayan, doon sa nabibigyan din nilang halaga na hindi lang mababaon yun sa nakaraan, kundi kahit hanggang sa kasalukuyan magagamit yun. Dito naman po sa learner-centered, focusing on the differentiated needs of learners. Dito naman po sa learner-centered is puro po mga estudyante lang. Si teacher po nagpapacilitate lang sa mga estudyante na puro student po yung nagsasagot, nagdi-discuss, For example, yun nga po, yung sa reporting, si teacher na lang po yung nanonood sa kanila, tapos sila yung nagdi-discuss sa harapan. Sa context-centered naman po, focusing on the environment in which learning occurs as well as where direct application. Sa context-centered naman po is yung sa mga idea or dinidiscuss ni teacher ng mga iba't ibang lesson, dapat pwede ring i-apply sa own experience po na para mas lalong maintindihan ng mga estudyante. Hindi lang dun sa mga salita na binibigay ni teacher or information, kundi pati sa mga sarili nila, kaya nilang i-apply kasi nangyayari sa sariling buhay nila. Kaya mas naiintindihan nila yung lesson. Dito naman po sa assessment-centered, focusing on all aspects of the assessment, design and creation. Dito na po pumapasok lahat ng mga iba't ibang uri ng assessment. Yun nga po mga test, iba't ibang uri ng test para ma-measure kung ano ba talaga yung mga natutunan ng mga estudyante, ano pa ba yung dapat dagdagan, ano pa yung kulang, ano yung hindi nila na-develop. Tapos, ito po yung last na po ito, may important note lang po. It is important to promote learners to evaluate themselves, quality of work, and performance. Sinasabi po dito na yung mga learners dapat sila din na-evaluate nila yung sarili nila. Hindi yung aasa lang sila dun sa teacher, dapat sila din mismo alam nila kung ano yung mga pagkukulang nila, okay na ba to, tama na ba yung mga ginagawa nilang performance o dapat mas dagdagan pa nila. Self-evaluation and self-refinement are two of the main goals of all instruction since they can lead to independent learning. Ayun nga po yung last na nakalagay po dito is dapat yung student, matuto din siya na sa kanyang sarili na matuto siya na sa kanyang sarili, hindi yung aasa lang siya sa iba at magkaroon din siya ng kusa na magbasa para mas lalo pang madagdagan yung mga kaalaman niya. Hindi lang manggagaling information sa teacher, sa ibang estudyante, kundi yung sarili niya kaya na niyang mag-develop. Yan lang po, sir. Hanggang doon lang po yung report ko.
Okay, so thank you. Well done, Miss Janine, for dealing with the different aspects pertaining to development of assessment instruments. So Miss Janine gave us some hints on how we're going to develop assessment instruments in particular. So in-enlist niya yung mga tips and also yung mga types of items and also yung mga test items criterion, which includes the goal-centered, the learner-centered, the context-centered, and assessment-centered. Alright, doon naman tayo sa next. Miss Ferrer, I think you're ready. So we'll be proceeding now to weeks 8 and 9, which pertains to the factors. Miss Ferrer, tama po ba? Factors in constructing evaluative instruments.
Sir, si Sheila po muna.
Sheila. Andiyan na si Sheila. Sheila, ikaw muna daw. Sige.
Yes, yeah, hello po. Opo.
Sheila. Andiyan na pala. Kanina wala kasi Sheila rin eh. Ayan, Sheila May.
Sir, kanina pa po nakikinig lang po.
Sige. Pwede na mag-start, Michelle. Michelle, asa si Michelle? Mag-start na ba si Michelle?
Opo.
Nagre-ready pa lang. Sige. Michelle, wait.
Ba't ganun? Wala pa din ano. Wala.
Nakabahan yata si Michelle. Okay lang, huwag kakabahan. Mabait naman si Sir Jeff. Maganda yung topic niya actually, yung factors, sila ni Miss Peter.
Hello.
Ano ba, cellphone ba ginagamit mo or laptop? Wala na siya. Mahina ba yung signal ko o yung kay Ma'am Sheila?
Okay po yun sa inyo, sir. Malakas po yung signal.
Sige, hintayin natin si Miss. Ay, laptop. Nag-hang siguro. Sige. Take your time hanggang 9 o'clock naman tayo. Joke. Biro lang.
Sir, I would like to thank you for being so understanding.
Ay,
Idol kita, sir.
talaga naman, kapag ganito kasi, kailangan nating maging flexible. Hindi tayo pwedeng ma-high blood. Hindi tayo, kasi
Yeah.
lalo na pag naging teacher kayo and you are dealing with this kind of modality, you have to increase your tolerance, you have to increase your patience.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much po.
Ayan na si Michelle.
Hello po, good evening po. Yung report ko po, is yung sa objectives to be assessed. Magkasunuran lang po kami ni Janine. Objective to be assessed. The objectives of a development assessment focus more on testing and improving. This type of assessment is often used in internal selection procedures or shortly after someone started in a new position. In that case, the goal is to establish points of improvement to help the employee in their further development. Yung layunin daw po ng assessment daw po yung para malaman kung may natutunan at nag-i-improve ang isang bata. Pangkaraniwan daw po ito lalo na sa bagong guro upang malaman nila yung masigit na dapat gawin upang lalong matuto ang kanilang mga estudyante o mag-aaral. Tapos po, sa arrangement of items. Ito yung items hindi.
Wait lang,
Items to be
balik
arranged
tayo
should be belong to.
Dun sa objectives to be assessed. If you were assessing, no, if okay,
Sige po.
mind you, future teachers, always remember if you want to quality assure the assessment instruments that you have developed, we're speaking about the development of the tools, no, that you prepare. So we understood that upon we complete the test items, it must be validated. And part of validation is for us to objectively assess the LC or natawag nating objectives. Kaya dyan nakalagay objectives to be assessed. And part of assessment in order is to make sure that the tests are aligned to the objectives or the learning competency. Yun ang una natin tinitingnan. Then pangalawang sinabi niya, sige, test arrangement. Tuloy na Miss Sarah, ay Miss Sheila. Tuloy ka na.
Items to be arranged should belong to one category or yung yung pag-aayos daw po ng mga gamit dapat nakaayos daw po para sa isang klase lang. Tapos next po.
Halimbawa,
Provide instruction.
in terms of the, singit lang ako ng bahagya, para maintindihan nilang mabuti. Items to be arranged should belong to one category only. These are common mistakes by test developers, wherein, especially in multiple choice, they try to include those items or options that are not relevant. See to it that if we're going to make a multiple choice and you want to include options or alternatives, it is highly recommended that the alternatives are congruent to each other or in the same category. Oh, so dapat, and also please avoid the none of the above. Always think of the terms that are generally in the same category. Ayan, provide instructions on the rationale for arrangement or sequencing. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Michelle.
Sorry po, nagsasalita pala ako, nakapatay po pala yung mic ko.
Sige.
Ano po, ito po yung paraan para maging maayos or madaling makuha ang atensyon ng mga bata. Provide instruction, nagbibigay para.
Sige, pakituloy. Tuloy na.
Specify the response code students have to use in arranging the items. Kailangan daw po yung exam mula sa madali, papahirap para ma-motivate yung bata. Tapos next po, provide sufficient space for the writing answer. Kailangan daw po may sapat na sulatan para sa space para malagyan. Ito po yung sample nun. Ito po, ayan po. Ito po.
Sige.
Scoring procedure. Objective approach. Established standardization by limiting the length of the assessment. Ito daw po yung paano mamarkahan yung isang exam. Next po. Identify the elements to be assessed. Go through the essay up to 250 words, underlining every mistake from the spelling and mechanics through verbs, tenses, morphology, vocabulary, etc. Kailangan daw po dito may limit yung exam. Kailangan din daw po dito yung essay daw to 250 words tapos underline lang yung pag may maling grammar or spelling.
Sige, continue.
Hindi pa.
Isingit na lang ako kapag may gusto akong sabihin.
Sige pa. Analytic approach. A method of scoring that requires a separate score for each of a number of aspects to a task, idiomatic expression, organization, relevance, coherence. Ito daw po yung pamamaraan ng pag-i-score katulad ng grammar, kahulugan at mga expression na ginagamit. Kailangan daw po yung pag-i-score ay nakabase sa katotohanan. Tapos po sa analytic approach, analytic characteristic involves the separation of the various features of a composition into components for scoring purposes. Kailangan daw po dito malinaw kung ano yung gustong matutunan ng bata sa analytic approach po. Tapos po, next po. Scoring schemes provides more detailed information about a test taker's performance. Yung scoring schemes po, ito po yung nagbibigay ng mas detalyadong impormasyon tungkol sa kumukuha at kakayahan ng kukuha ng exam. Tapos po, sa method of recording and reporting assessment results. Sa planning po. In planning, assessment should be incorporated and evident in our forward plans. We need to plan effective tasks and flexible teaching methods that maintain the correct balance across the curriculum. Kailangan daw po yung pagpaplano na babase sa kakayanan at pamamaraan upang maging upang matuto ang estudyante po. Ganyan po sa planning. Wala na po akong example, sir. Next na po. Teaching po. Teaching is the second stage of the assessment process and is based on the planning already done. Teachers should encourage a problem-solving approach and create an atmosphere which promotes the exploration of new ideas and activities. At ito daw po yung pangalawa sa pamamaraan upang malaman base sa natutunan ng isang mag-aaral. Kailangan daw po si teacher ay may bagong pamamaraan at idea upang lalong mahikayat yung mga bata sa pagkatuto.
Sige, continue.
Recording po. Our teachers' forward plans programs of study can serve a dual purpose as a plans and records. Recording will enable teachers to share with pupils successful learning and identify development needs and next steps. Yung sa recording daw po, yung pagre-record daw ay maaaring magamit ulit niyan sa mga susunod niyang estudyante at maging resourceful upang lalong magustuhan pumasok ng isang Kailangan din daw po nire-report yung isang teacher sa kanilang head teachers ang kanilang ginagawa. Parang ganun po dyan.
Continue. Continue, Michelle.
Ay, apa. That's what to record. Teacher should record for each pupil only what is useful and relevant for planning next steps in learning and reporting progress. Kailangan daw po yung teacher nalalaman yung steps ng pagkatuto, lalo na po yung kailangan i-improve. Parang ganyan po. Tas sa ano po, sa when to record, teacher should update their individual groups, pupils termly. Kailangan daw po nalalaman din ng mga magulang ang mga grades po o ginagawa ng mga mag-aaral. Parang ganyan po dyan.
Continue.
Sir, hanggang dun lang po yung naano ko.
Okay, sige. Let's summarize about Ma'am Sheila's report. Basically, what she did is all about the different ways on how we're going to assess the instruments. So, mga tips yon. Una, sabi nga natin kanina, the first one is objectives to assess. Basically, what she intended to mention there is the teachers must be knowledgeable on how are we going to jive our test instruments to the learning competency or the objective. So we see to it that what we really assess are basically aligned to the learning competency or the objectives, which we stressed out before. Then also test arrangement. So the test arrangement has something to do with the physical attributes of the test. And basically this can help the evaluators or the test developer to find means of constructing well the test in terms of the face validity. Remember, one of the validation procedures that we employ is what we call the face validity, and this pertains to the attributes of the test. So that, sabi niya dito, items to be arranged should be belong to one category. So kino-consider natin yon. And also alignment of that, mga text alignment, kino-consider natin yan. The number 3, scoring procedure. Yes, she stressed about the so-called objective approach. So pag objective approach, of course, in terms of the scoring, we see to it that the assessment instruments are generally associated to the objectives or the goals to be met. Then meron tayong natawag na analytic approach, basically scheme-based siya. Then yung number 4, she mentioned about the methods of recording and reporting. So she stressed out about planning, teaching, recording. So of course, as we assess, we start with the planning. Everything starts with the plan. And that's why you are crafting this what we call your table of specification for you to make sure that the tests you have developed are basically aligned to the cognitive dimensions, and the placement of tests are really congruent to those dimensions of learning, which is actually our cognitive dimensions of learning, which are remembering, understanding, and so on and so forth, but basically on the cognitive aspects. And then as you plan, remember that assessment is integral part of instruction. And basically, as we plan our instruction, we used to connect ourselves in planning the kind of assessment that is valid and reliable to the instruction that we're going to do. Then, of course, as we plan, we will be executing that particular plan through teaching. And teaching is letter B here. So we teach that lesson, and in particular, as we teach, we integrate assessment from beginning to end. That's why meron tayong natawag na formative assessment. We do that religiously from the beginning part to the end. Then recording, we consider what to record and when to record. So what to record, basically, are those results, ng mga evidences of learning that can either be formative or summative. Remember, formative are those success learnings that are generally recorded but not rated. So it is used for us to assess the entry knowledge or prior knowledge of the learners, whether they are ready to proceed or not. While summative assessment is actually administered right after the chapter, unit, or simply a term or simply a quarter. So yun ang tinatandaan natin. It is always given at the end of instruction. So this kind of assessment is always rated. So kasama yon sa what to record. The when to record, basically, ano sinabi niya kanina? So this, in terms of when to record, in terms of feedbacks, yun niya. So also aside from giving feedbacks, we see to it that we monitor our learners' progress, whether they are learning or not. So basically the data or the information that we gather from them could be a basis for us to interpret or to give judgment to the specific performances of our learners. Okay, thank you, Michelle. Shall we continue? For Miss, ano, sino nang kasunod, Miss Ferrer? Ready ka na or Thursday ka na?
Sir, dapat po ang sunod si Crystal at Ditas, kaya lang po pareho po ata silang wala.
Sino? Si Ditas muna?
Dapat po sir, ang kasunod po ni Sheila, si Crystal po, tsaka si Ditas. Kaya lang
Ay,
po
asa
wala
na-
po sila.
Asa ng dalawa?
Oo nga, wala po sila sir eh.
Si Miss Ferrer, nawala na rin. Ay, nawala na rin si Miss Ferrer. Okay, sige, anyway. Ilan na lang? Teka, wait. Let us present the CG or yung curriculum natin, or yung syllabus. We were expecting to have, pangilan na si Miss Sheila sa reporters natin?
Sir, bali pang 6 na po siya.
O di, 4 na lang kulang kasi 10 lang kayo, di ba? Kaya na natin yun ng Thursday lahat. Pakisabihan mo, Mr. Noel, ikaw yata ang medyo magilas sa lahat, sa 10, ano? Paki-inform mo lang, I think we're done with weeks, ano? Ay, hindi pa to. Factor si Miss Ferrer dito, no? So far. Tama ba? Type new factors in constructing evaluative instruments. Weeks 8 and 9. Hello, Mr. Noel, tama ba tayo?
Yung kay Janine tsaka Sheila, yun po yung nireport ni Janine tsaka si Sheila. Week 9, 8.
So 9 to 13 tayo next Thursday. Okay, kapag wala sila, ako magdi-discuss niyan, wala silang report. Then we have, ito authentic, ayan, kayang bunuin yan. Meron tayong mga ano dyan. Kayang tapusin sa WebEx. Then, Tuesday, next week, will be the exam. Kasi ano na po yun, 22 na. Okay, agreed po sa ating plan. If we could finish it on Thursday, kakayanin po natin ng Thursday yung 4 na reporters na yun. And then if they are not available, so we're gonna make sense of those topics. And then exam, cover to cover tayo ng, let me think. Nakapag-exam naman na kayo, so siguro hindi na cover to cover. Kung ano na lang yung inabutan ng midterm. So hindi pa tayo nagmi-midterm, di ba? Finals na lang. So kung ano yung score nyo sa finals, yun din ang midterm nyo. Agree? Isang take la lang.
Yes po sir, opo.
Po.
Isang take
Okay
la
po,
lang
sir.
para ganun din naman. What is important you are learning, yun ang gusto ko. Yung kasi yung scores naman doon, magkopyahan lang kayo, screenshot nyo lang iba dyan. Pero tatry kong ilagay sa Google Form para may timer. Sige, any questions po? I'm expecting 100% attendance on Thursday. Mr. Noel, kindly inform them.
Yes po.
Sino pa hindi ko nakikitang social studies major? Remember, recorded to and I am able to monitor kung ma-attend kayo ng classes sa akin. Please avoid to get incomplete kasi once nakulang kayo sa akin and you did not attend my class, either failed or incomplete ang ibibigay ko po. So I'm just reminding para hindi, kasi graduating kayo, tama? Graduating kayo eh. So please do not let me give INC or simply yung failed scores. Ano, ayoko gagraduate sa, gusto kong graduate kayo of course. But please avoid na lang na dumating tayo sa point na yan. So thank you so much for listening and see you on Thursday. God bless everyone and keep safe.
Thank you, sir.
Same to
Thank
you,
you
sir.
po, sir.
Okay. Inform yung
Thank you po.
yung apat na wala. Sige po.